This video, I'm going to teach you supply and demand trading in under 10 minutes. Now, I'm going to show you 1, what are supply and demand levels, 2, how to draw supply and demand levels, and 3, how to enter on the levels. So let's get into it. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel for more trading content like this. So I'm going to draw this out for you real quick. Supply and demand, if you've heard of this before, what you're looking for is a rally in price, and you're looking for a base, and you're looking for a drop in price. And as the theory goes, at the top of the level here, this area, right? That area is going to have a lot of supply. So I'm going to try and write that out. My writing's terrible on here. So then a person's looking to take the pullback to that level for a continuation move down in the direction, because the theory goes there's more sell orders here than buy orders. And the reverse of this is obviously going to be a buy setup, a demand setup. So you have a drop in price, you have a base, and then you get a strong rally in price out of it. And then this is demand. And let me just write that down for you. Okay, and then the two other setups, very simple. You have a drop in price, a base, and a drop in price. And the opposite being true, being a rally in price, a base, and a rally in price. Okay, so in each one of these, you're looking for a pullback to the level for a continuation in the direction of the move, right? Make sense? Perfect. All right, let's move on to looking at this on a chart. We only got 10 minutes, so let's get through this real quick. So here's oil, one of my favorite markets right now, because it's been on a complete tear up. So here's what we're looking for, right? We have a drop in price. You can see here, boom, we get this drop in price in oil on the 1 hour chart, right? There's a drop. Now, what you get is this level here. Let me just draw that out for you. So there's your base, and you get a rally in price here. And you can see the next time the price came back to the level on this bar here, it entered that zone of demand, and the price rallied out of it hard. So that's a good buying opportunity for a demand level. And you can kind of see these all over the chart when you start to look for them. And alternatively, if we want to see what does the supply level look like, well, we can zoom in right here. Let's take a look at this level. Right, here's a supply level here. And the reason this is, you can see we have this big rally in price, and then we have a gap down right here. Look at that gap down. So we know that there's a lot of orders, here, right? We have a huge move out, and then when price comes back to the level, it sells off down. So that's what those look like on a chart. So hopefully that's making sense to you. And just to make it a little easier to see, I'll put this rectangle in so that you can kind of see the level, and then someone would look to say sell level. So the way we draw that now is we take a rectangle and we put the rectangle around the areas that we're looking to trade. So, after these levels form, boom, we put a rectangle, we extend that out, and we wait for price to come back to the level. Now, let me show you a couple more examples of this. And you can see here, we have some decent examples, right? What do we have here? A nice move up. Let me just circle this for you. Right, we get this nice move up, and we get a solid base, and then the market goes sideways, boom, and you can see price basically came right back to the level, and now it's selling off. All right, so there's a couple examples, and what I want to talk about here is when we're looking at these types of trades, right? These are deep retracement trades when we're looking for pullbacks. These are, weak trends. That's what we're looking to trade with these types of setups. Now, the question is, how do we enter these? So let's just pull up another example here. I want to try and hit this point home, and then we'll continue to move on to how do we enter these types of markets. And what I'm going to show you here now is just a super simple level. You'll see it. So this one is a rally. Let me just draw it. We're going to be on the 5 minute here on the right hand side of my screen. So we get a rally in price up, and what do you see? You see a nice tight base right here. So that becomes our level. Now, if you look at this, you're going to see what happens as soon as price comes back down into that level. Well, it immediately rallies out of it. So right? We rallied down, so we rallied up after that level, had a nice move, and then we dropped right back into it. And we did that again before making a huge move higher. So then the question is, how do you enter these? So we know these are for more weak trends and transitions in trends. So how do you enter these? One way I personally like is to just enter on the level. So when price comes into the zone, I would just look to buy it, and I'd look to put a stop below the level. So let me just draw out for you here where the stop would be. So if I were looking at this trade, I'd add a few pips or ticks plus the spread, and then I'd put the stop below the level, looking for that move out. And as far as like confirmation, if you're thinking that you need confirmation on trading, that's an illusion. Confirmation doesn't exist. There's no pin bar or anything that I would be looking for, although this one did print a pin bar and this one did not. So you can see the entry that actually worked best did not end up printing a pin bar. So I'd be looking to take the level itself, placing the stop below, and that's generally going to be the best price. Okay, so then the question with this is, well, we know this is for deep pullbacks and trends, for trend transitions, and also for maybe range bound markets. All right, so what happens if we are in a trending market? So let's look here. Oops, that was an accident. Didn't mean to draw that. Let's take a look at this chart here, and this is really the point that I want to hit home. When we see these similar setups and in a strong trend, so we can call a strong trend something that's respecting the 20 EMA, which is this orange line on my chart. Maybe you can see that. And I'm going to blow this up a little more for you. And what you're going to notice is that once the levels are created in these are rally basis and rallies, price never really comes back to these levels. So you can see here, price hasn't come back. And this level here, price hasn't really come back to, I guess, almost within a pip. So what's another way to get into these? And that's something that we're going to talk about now, because if there's anything to take away from this video, if you've seen supply and demand strategies before, this is going to be completely different. So when we're looking at this and we have a strong trend and we have these big, strong rallies in price, what I like to do is, instead of waiting for the pullback to the level, I think it's pretty easy to, I'm just going to draw this line on for you, to actually see the level. So we have a huge rally in price. And then what happens, like if you're watching the market on an intraday basis and you see this, I'm just going to make this really, really big. So you see where this yellow line is here that I just drew on here? Well, what does that tell us? We had a big rally in price up, and then every candle that's come down to this level has printed a wick. Like we haven't got a close really below here, and every time it comes below, we get a lot of wicks. So that tells us that there is a lot of buyers here. So we've had a rally out, and we're basing, meaning for the most part, demand is equaling supply in this area, except for down here, except for in the lower part of the basing structure. All we're seeing is candle wicks, no closes below. So the entry for me, once I start to see a couple of these in a row against an EMA, the entry for me is on a pullback right to this level. So for something like this, right, I would be looking to take a trade probably right here on this bar. So do you see that? We have a nice level, clearly defined level into 20 EMA, and this bar here goes right back into our level. That to me is the best buying opportunity there is. It's a super low risk, high reward trade, right? Stop loss below the level, and ends up being a massive runner. So let's just kind of measure that out. If you're looking for these types of opportunities, let's use the trading view tool, and we'll throw our stop loss right here, and you have to add the spread in when you buy something. So we'll say our entries here. You know, the maximum opportunity on that trade is like 5-1 if you're the perfect trader. So really great opportunities looking at it this way when you're playing strong trends. So we only want to play the pullbacks when we're in weak trending markets, trend reversal setups, and range bound markets. When we're with trend, we want to make sure that we're looking to take these basing structures higher, right? We want to be part of this move up. And the reason for that is very simple. This is where all all of the demand is. Like, you can see how big these bars are. Obviously, there's lots of buyers here, a lot more buyers than sellers, and we want to be joining the party. So hopefully that makes sense. If you like this content, make sure you like and subscribe to the videos, the YouTube channel. I put out a lot of content on trading to help you become more successful. And there's also a link to the Discord channel below if you have any questions. And we have a great community going on there. So click the link, join the Discord, and see you in the next video.